Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dugout Sessions with your boy, Jose. We are here to talk about probably my favorite sport of all time. I mean, I never really liked any other sport as much as I love this sport, baseball. Now, as you can see, I am by myself. If you've seen me in other videos, I got my two colleagues, Brian and Chance. They're not really into sports, so I decided to take this segment on myself because I love it. I watch it almost every day, and I enjoy it. As you can tell, I am an avid Yankee fan. I'm a diehard fan. I follow everything they do, and I love everything that they represent. Now, obviously, not a lot of people like us, but I promise you, I won't be one of those snobby Yankee fans. I'll be very relatable, very cool, and just, somebody you can talk to. That's why I'm sitting on the couch, because it's going to be like having a conversation with you guys. Now, this is obviously brought to you by Goose Nugget, the channel that we all formed. Excellent content. If you haven't checked it out, go check out other videos. And today, we're going to talk about one team that I did not expect to be as good as they were. I mean, you can kind of say you did because of what they did in the offseason, but they've just been absolutely killing it. So what we're going to do in Dugout Sessions, we're going to be talking about games, players, stuff that was going on. It would have been perfect to start this during the lockout, but we didn't, and it's okay because we're in an excellent month of baseball. Good games have been going on left and right, and we're seeing excellent races and divisions and stuff, so it's been really cool to see. Today, we're going to talk about the New York Mets and what happened last night. Last night, if you have not caught up, the Mets were losing 7-1 and entering the 9th inning, and all of a sudden, they came and rallied, and they did a great job of just getting extra base hits and doing their thing, and they ended up winning 8-7. Now, they, when it comes to First Take and other shows, they always ask the question, did the Mets win or did the Phillies lose? One of those things. And I truly believe I honestly think it was a combination of both, because the Mets are a force to be reckoned with. They're a great squad. They got great pitching. They got great hitters. Their lineup is insane. But also the Phillies pitching isn't very well. They're not that good. Their bullpen is really shaky at times, and it's been a problem for many years. So I feel like you combine those two things, and stuff like happened yesterday is resulted to happen. You put in the scenario where the Mets are coming up the bat, it's the 9th inning, and you're like, okay, they're gonna lose, it's okay. But no, they put a fight up and they went ballistic. Now, I know Lindor hit a home run, but what I wanted to say was they didn't rely solely on the home runs. It was just extra base hits. It was a single. I think McNeil had a single to right, and just hits. They did an amazing job. Shout out to Starling Marte. He still has a lot in the tank, and that's why they paid him the way they did. One person I want to say is doing a phenomenal job. Steve Cohen is just an absolute beast of an owner. I mean, he showed up. He said, I am going to pay what we need. And he literally did that. He got the second best pitcher in baseball. He's got a stud in the outfield. He's got everything he needs, and he's an absolute beast for that. And I give him a lot of credit. And if they take the championship, he damn well deserves a ring on his finger, because if it wasn't for him and they were still stuck on, what was their names? Whatever the name was, it would be a problem. So I wanted to really talk about it. And I think it was a perfect way to start the episode, because this is what baseball is about. Baseball is about expecting the unexpected. You always see these things like these really bad teams that you think are going to do bad to excellent, aka the Marlins in 2020. I know it's a shortened season. I get it. But still, they killed it. You also see teams like the Yankees last year absolutely doing terrible. Like, I was not expecting them to be as bad as they did. And they just, I don't want to talk about it. But we will get into the Yankees eventually in another day, in another episode of Dugout Sessions. And this is basically just an introductory episode of what it's going to be about. Like I said, talk about players. We're going to talk about specific players, talk about specific teams, talk about specific plays or stuff that is happening around the league. For example, Trevor Bauer getting suspended for 2 years. It's a touchy subject, but a lot of people have their opinions on it, and stuff like that is going to be stuff that we talk about. So I really wanted to dive into this game and just look at some of the box scores. I got my iPad right here. This is like my resource. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Starling Marte absolutely killed it this game. I mean, my dude absolutely went nut. He went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, a homer in the game. He's just a great player, and like I said, he's still quick. He's still got a lot in the tank, and he's doing great. Aaron Nola, I'm so sorry what happened to you last night. You should have never been pulled out of the game. You were in the 7th inning, only allowing 1 run. He could have still won another inning. It's absolutely crazy how they took him out, knowing how bad the bullpen's been. And Corey Neville absolutely just crapped the bed, and I'm sorry that had to happen. And, the Mets, like I said, absolutely dominated. Taijuan Walker didn't really have a great start, but, Shreve picked it up, Medina picked it up, and then Edward Diaz with 2 strikeouts and no hits. I mean, what a way to save the game. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the first episode of Dugout Sessions. It's going to happen 3 times a week where we talk about sports, and there may be other sports in the line, really depending on what's going on throughout the week. And we will continue to talk, and eventually we could take this to live streams. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode of Dugout Sessions.